if you think of it, it's just a coffee shop, isn't it? It's like, I mean, in fact, even there is a difference between calling it just a coffee shop versus cafe. If it's just a coffee shop, let us say it is just like, you can just go have some coffee and go, isn't it? Right? But let's say if I just define a goal of a user as, okay, I want a coffee and let me go and buy coffee and drink coffee. But the beauty is, the same thing is happening. You just can have a coffee over here. But if you see everything else, let us say you are sitting at a table. So the chairs over here, they have been made in such a way that there's a plug point and stuff like that, right? If you see over here. Now, all this has been made in such a way that you can sit and work, right? Let's say there are a bunch of, chairs over there. Two chairs and stuff like that, right? Now, they have been made in such a way that two people can sit and have a conversation, right? And let us say if you look at that, it's basically like a group of friends who can come and have a conversation, right? And if you see, there are these paintings over there, and the whole thing is like themed yellow and like just to give like a very peaceful feeling. And then there is music going on, which is again very peaceful, right? And there are a few books over here, which again give you a feeling that, hey, you know what, I can probably sit and spend some nice time over here, right? If you see, the design has been done for the experience. And I'll tell you why this is very important, right? Because yes, obviously it's very obvious whatever I'm talking about. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to relate this to business, right? And that's where UX design becomes very, very important, right? Even when it comes to digital interfaces, UX design becomes very important for this one very reason. See, a lot of us just think that, let's say you have some app, you want to design an app, like, let's say you want to book a cab ride or let's say book a grocery or something like that, right? Now, we just think, hey, you know what, a designer should probably just like a product owner first to start with, like a product manager or someone to start with. We just simply think that all they have to do is, how is it that this person can probably just book a cab or probably get some groceries and stuff like that. We just don't think more than that, right? But what a cafe tells us is, probably if you just want to have coffee, like there are a lot of coffee shops generally outside, right? How much do you think you pay for a coffee? Dude, Vamsi, when you go to a coffee shop outside, how much will you pay for a coffee?
20 rupees.
20 or probably maximum 50 rupees is how much you pay for a coffee, right?
Yeah, no. Actually, it's either 20 or 200. No in between.
Right? So that's the point.
Yeah.
But here, you are willing to spend that 200 rupees because why you are here is not because of coffee.
Yeah, not solely
right?
on
Coffee is just simply an addition to what you want to do over here. You want to have conversations, you want to work, you want to spend some nice time over here. That is your goal. So the goal has been, the space has not been designed just for selling coffee, but has been designed with the aim of people having their experiences. And the irony is, let's say you want to have some conversations over here. Cafes always come with this thing called, you can stay how much ever you long. You don't even have to buy anything or something like that. So it's like a feeling that people come like, yeah, you know what? It's just free. I can just sit freely how much ever time I want and spend some time and do all these things. Not really totally associating the cost, but indirectly what we are doing is that
we are
cost.
We are
paying for the cost through the coffee which we are actually having over here, and doesn't feel very costly because of that reason, because of the experience which is added to it. And that's exactly what product design also does, right? I mean, this is exactly what happens even in digital interfaces, right? So the question we need to always ask ourselves is, do we just think utilitarian? Hey, you know what? User wants to do this activity. Let them just do this and go away, right? User wants to probably have a coffee and let them just get a coffee and go away. Do we think like this? Or do we think about how can they have an experience associated with it? How can we provide an opportunity for them to not just have utilitarian goals, but also experience goals? Yeah. Now that's something which is very interesting over here. See, ideally you can say this. You can say, hey, you know what? Ultimately, I just want coffee. Don't waste my time. I don't want to think about anything else other than just coffee, right? So just give me coffee and just get the F out.
Yeah.
Right? In the same way, even in a digital app or something like that, hey, I just came here to shop something, or I just came to book a cab or something like that, and let me just do that and go away, right? I'm not blocking that. I'm really not saying a small coffee shop which sells coffee and your goal is basically just to have coffee and also and not block. But what I'm talking about is what a coffee shop inspires you about creating the opportunity to have experience goals altogether.
Yeah.
I'm not saying the experience should become an intervention to the normal goals you have. I'm speaking about a much higher point over here.
I understand. Yeah.
They've even changed the goals. They're like, you're not coming there just for coffee. You're coming there to have that experience. Through that, there is an entire business which is happening over there. Through that, you are basically having a coffee. Through that, basically, you are having that food and stuff like that, right? And the more time you stay, the more
bill we make.
The more bill we make, and probably because you want to have some conversations with people, more number of people also will come, and you will keep coming repeatedly because this is something which
experience which
you want to keep having these experiences. And they've associated things with all the regular things which you like. Let's say you want to work. Work is something which we'll regularly do, right? Which you can peacefully come and work. Now that's a pattern which will happen almost daily to you. So can you, like next time when you want to work and you're like, hey, you know what, I'm thinking I should have some peace trying to work. Now the way you'll naturally think is, hey, you know what, we went to work, let's go. So that's exactly why we also came, right? We're like, okay, no, let's just escape and go to a nice location where we can have a conversation. It was the natural choice was the cafe, right? So,
and all this also provides something which we cannot experience every day at our home, even to work.
That's right.
So when we work at our home, we might have a table or something, or have a cup of coffee with us, homemade coffee. But this experience, the overall experience, many people like us come and work in here.
Yes.
There is some music. There are people who can, get us coffee. And
it's made in such a way that it is aspirational, right?
Yeah.
Now, what I'm trying to say is, can we start getting inspired from, as designers, how can we create opportunities for people to have experience-related goals rather than just utilitarian goals? Now, when you have experience-related goals, you can do a much greater business. In some way, Apple does that. The reason why Apple really sells products for very good prices, of course, their tech is very good and they meet. They really build very good products. There's no doubt about it. But all their products really meet the experience goals which people really want to have.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, hey, you know what? Photos should be really good. I want to have whenever I take out a camera, I should not be thinking about what settings should I have or whether the photo will come good or not. I want to very good. Or I'll talk about, let's say, AirDrop.
Yeah.
It's AirDrop, right? Now, AirDrop, the technology is awesome. Technology is okay, now you have some Wi-Fi, through Wi-Fi, whatever. We don't even know how it works. That's the beauty of how Apple builds it, right? Now, what you're being sold is the experience you'll have with it. You know what? If all just need to have is another iPhone and stuff like that, and all the devices are connected, and all you can do is just drag and drop files very seamless,
like in a minute. Yeah.
Right? Now, the goals associated with it are, so if you remember, when you also bought an iPhone, right? I bought an iPhone and you also bought your MacBook. Look at the way we were thinking. Hey, you know what? I have an iPhone. Okay, I can easily transfer files to this particular Mac. Now we are both in an ecosystem. And they're like, oh, you should also be in a Mac.
Yes.
Because we can all transfer files very easily and it will be very seamless. Then you're like, oh, no, I should have my iPhone also because I also wanted to start shooting. Now it will transfer very easy. And after that, you are like, oh no, I'll also buy this watch because I want to shoot, but I want to shoot from the backside, the watch can mirror. Look at the way we are having the goals. The goals are experience goals.
Yes.
Rather than just the utilitarian goals of, oh, I want to work on a laptop. Oh, I want to just simply watch, see time. Literally, we literally did not buy the watch for seeing time.
Even now, if you want me to, tell me the time, I refer my phone.
We literally bought it for the experience of the way it connects with your
phone. Yeah.
Right? That's the beauty. So what I'm trying to say is, as designers, we need to really have this shift in thought process of how do I think of building opportunities for people to have experiences, right?
And also for the business.
No. Not also, it leads to business opportunities. That's my point. People aspire for experiences and it leads to a lot of business opportunities, right? Now I'm just thinking in terms of where can we go and plug and play what is there today, right? And where can we plug and play this particular thought process into some of the products which are available today? if at all I have to relate it to some products which which can actually think in this particular manner, right? The closest I can relate to is obviously social media products anyway, right? Let us say you have YouTube or Instagram and stuff like that. You are obviously not there for a transaction,
Yeah.
right? You go to YouTube, you are there for watching a video.
Watching a video, entertainment.
Basically have an experience over there, right? Now let us say you are on Instagram. You basically come there to watch, have some, look at few photos, or let us say you want to look at some videos, or let's say you want to see reels and stuff like that. You want to spend some time, or let's say probably want to get some educational content or something like that. So your aim is an experience aim, and through that, what is happening is, through that, social media platform utilizes those goals as a way for monetizing. That means because you're coming there to see, you will basically see some ads, and you'll also see multiple ads. Basically, through ads is what these platforms run. Or of course, whether it is ads or whether it is the platform in itself offering opportunities for content creators and multiple people to make to brand deals and stuff like that, right? Or basically sell courses or gather leads and stuff like that. The whole business is happening because of people having goals for having an experience rather than just a utility.
So I have a question here. So back in 2021, I guess YouTube launched its shorts after a few months after Instagram came up with Reels, right?
Correct.
So
and Instagram launched its Reels after TikTok came. And so, TikTok launched this entire model. Primarily, initially, the whole short kind of a thing is mostly Snapchat. Snapchat is like the real innovator of those short stories, and these stories are there, no?
Yeah. So, coming to this, so can we consider that as an example? The most recent example of which what I have is YouTube implementing shorts. So basically, YouTube is a video platform. So now they try to include another format where people can enjoy or
oh my god, crazy. Okay.
So being a video making platform in the first place and implementing the shorts in it is trying to bring some kind of experience to people, some new experience to people, and therefore trying to build some kind of ecosystem of experiences where people can have a wholesome of videos in one platform. You can watch long videos and you can also watch short videos. So now when you told that you can, if you want to implement this idea based on experiences, can we count this one, can you count the shorts one as that?
Obviously, yeah. Shorts.
I know it's a dumb one.
No, it's not like a dumb question. It's social media platforms are literally taking whatever I'm talking about as the business model itself.
Yeah.
Like the cafe business model of making people aspire for an experience and making money through the opportunities because of the time people are trying to spend over there. Right? Is literally the business model of a social media platform. Now, a social media platform identifies what are the different ways in which people can aspire for experiences. Either watching videos, long form content is one way of aspiring for an experience, right? Now there is like this viewing short form content. Let us say this shorts is called short form content, like quick content is one more experience which people aspire, right? Now all social media platforms do, like let us say going forward, probably in 5 to let us say 10 years, when let us say augmented reality or let us say spatial headsets become a very, very common way to interact, right? Now reality experiences will basically become very aspirational. Like you want to be like as if you're a part of some place. You probably want to think as if, let us say, you are in a cafe or something, right? Or let us say you want to see how it is feel in a rainforest or something like that, right? Now, these reality experiences, this is a random idea, right?
Yeah.
Probably it will evolve into something very, very good and something very engaging as well. Now those might be very interesting platform for where people would want to keep coming back. Now social media platforms will take that as a medium again for you to aspire for those experiences, and through that a business model will build. That's why Facebook, that is Meta, has been the first person to actually go and invest so much on augmented reality, because they have now exhausted all forms of types of content which people will aspire for. Now what you have to do is innovate on the medium of delivering this, experiencing this content.
Understood.
Right? That's why they are having big bets, and I'm damn sure it will work. There is no doubt about it. Whether it is going to be Meta or whether it is going to be Apple, it's definitely going to work out. There's no doubt about the transformation which will come in the way people will experience things. Right? So the point of building experiences and building business models through the experience which you want to give is always going to be there. Right? Now what is a food for thought which I am having right now is the next level, that is, see, social media platforms, this is on the very macro level, right? Because the business model itself is based on that. Now what I am thinking is how at a very, very small things, on a daily things, let's say a cab booking app or let us say a grocery delivery app. Now how can a designer think about building an experience and make people aspire an experience and not the utility itself? That's what I really want to think about, right? Because see, ultimately the business model is about conversions. Let's just actually literally brainstorm. Let's say we use Swiggy Instamart. You want to have a chocolate, okay, you want to have a Coke and a chocolate or stuff like that. You need to get the chocolate or Coke as quickly as possible. That's the conversion goal. Or probably I have an ATV goal, or like basically a basket building goal. That means I want to increase my average transaction value, right? I want to increase the number of items which are bought and stuff like that. Let's say this can be the goal. And therefore you also see like, hey, suggestions and recommendations on more items being recommended to you, and increasing the cart and stuff like that, cart value and stuff like that. Or if you meet a certain cart value, you'll also see some discounts and stuff like that, right? Now all this is there, right? Now what I'm really thinking about is, and I really want people to comment about this also, right? How can you go into something like a regular e-com, like regular shopping kind of a journey, and how do you make people aspire for an experience more than the transaction? That's something I'm thinking about, right? Because actually I'll tell you why it is contradicting to an extent. A product which focuses on conversions should reduce the amount of session time which a person has to spend, because the more the session length, the higher the drop-offs. Basically giving a lot of opportunity for people to think more and drop. The faster the checkout is,
Fastest fingers.
faster the checkout is, higher the conversion for you, because lesser the drop-offs, right? Now, but when it comes to experience-related products, it is opposite. You want more session length. That's why metrics for Instagram or YouTube will be about having more session length. Whereas this will be about having lesser session length and having this one. But still, this is a very, very interesting question, isn't it? Because it's a known thing that experience aspirations will give you retention. See, one person who speaks in general about this is Harish, who's basically building Cred, right? Designing for Cred. Though it's a transactional app, he keeps speaking about how can I give this experience in terms of why do people have to keep coming here and all, like, feel really that they're like using a great experience and aspire the experience, and basically because of it have the transactions. That's one place where I have seen a designer aspire for it. But of course, is Cred really doing it is something which I can't really say, because I just literally go pay my credit card bills and I'm done, right? I'm not really use it. But still, that's just one. But this is still a very unsolved, like this is like a mystery to me in terms of, the model doesn't support. But how can you bring people to aspire for the experience you want to give? Okay, so this is again like I want to leave it to the people who are watching it. Let's see what they will say and what they will comment on.
It's kind of a paradox, It's interesting to think about it, but we never know if it's really going to take place or not.
But good that we, a cafe has inspired to think about different types of business models which can exist. And the most beautiful and important concept of how can UX designers think about people aspiring for experiences rather than just the utility in itself. And a very interesting thought that will always stay with me is, how do I bring that into something where a transaction is very much the main thing, right? So that's really good. Awesome.
For more videos, subscribe.